Learning by Doing presents The Mad Dash. Watch us every Tuesday morning on YouTube. Join me and multiple crew members as I take our Krabi catamaran from Sydney, Australia all the way up around the top to Lombok in Indonesia. Made possible by our patrons. Thank you very much, you guys, and also our sponsors here on board for this trip. Thanks so much, guys. You can also follow us along on Marine Traffic or Vessel Finder. Trade Runner is the name. Righto, guys. We've come up the coast a fair bit now since the last video. Right now I'm situated in Roslyn Bay, Keppel Bay Marina I think it's called. Great Keppel Island, Roslyn Bay, Yeppoon. Here for a couple of days, getting a new crew on board tomorrow, and also getting some of my parts back. So my mainsail has arrived, thanks Kadrick. That was pretty fast. I think it took him a week to make it, and it took 2 days to ship it up here. Pretty stoked about that. Got this little package here. This is from Nanny. Tappet cover gasket seal. I'll show you. I'll put that in this afternoon. And also Raymarine got my plotter back to me. So everything arrived here. I was hoping, I could get it all here because the next stop's going to be Airlie Beach, and that's fair way up the track. And it's not that nice to do the night passages and stuff without a chart plotter, and it's also just a bummer to have you get your phone out of your pocket every half an hour to look that you're going the right direction, all that sort of stuff. It looks like I might have got a new one. Well, let's see what's going on. Alright, well, yeah, everything's working. I got AIS on there. Cool. Alright, well that was an easy one. Plug and play, basically. Thanks to that Raymarine for getting that back to me fast. I'm back in business. Right, on to the next job. Okay, so I am fixing an engine today. My portside engine here, you can see. So you can see quite a, it's dark around here. It's black. So what's been going on is there's been oil leaking out of the tappet cover. So this cover here, and what's happened is you can also see here this cable that's just the solenoid for turning the engine on and off is actually melted as well. So it's sort of quite obvious that this engine has been overheated. It's probably blown a fan belt at some stage and overheated quite badly and melted some stuff. So I took the tappet cover off because it was leaking, and it wasn't a problem, but the thing is that it would smell of leaking oil, burnt oil, because the oil would leak out and then run down the block and heat up, obviously, and so the boat would smell after we're motoring. So I took that off and discovered that the gasket was a bit ruined. I'll show you that in a minute, but I didn't have a spare gasket, so I just put a bunch of gasket goo in there and just put it down again. It stopped the leaking. It's all right, it's not leaking anymore, but I finally got a replacement gasket sent to me here, Roslyn Bay. Look at that. Now that is a great example of marine gouging. This gasket, it is nothing special. It is, I'll take it out of its bag in a minute. You know how much that cost? $115. Now that is just daylight robbery. Nanny, you should be freaking, well, I don't know if it's Nanny Australia or just Nanny in general. This is a Kubota engine. I probably should have gone to a tractor place and got this same thing. I'm just stupid probably, but $115. I mean, 15 of that was shipping, but $100 for a piece of rubber gasket? Are you kidding me? Like, wow. That probably cost about 4 cents in materials. Then it had to get shipped back from China, blah, 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 blah. But whatever, there's probably about a $80 markup on that, I would say. Anyway, I'm going to put it in. It better bloody fit. you'll sort of, I don't know if you can see, but the gasket actually sits proud of the metal all around. You can see that part there is where it's overheated, and the gasket, the rubber's actually lower than the metal. So when that's on there, it's metal against metal, and that's why it's leaking. So you can tighten the bolts down as tight as you want. It's metal on metal, whereas the rubber should be, you know, making a seal, so not metal on metal. So that's where it's obviously just melted the original gasket. So I'm going to rip this one out, put the new one in, give this whole area a bit of a clean up, and then we'll should be good to go. There you go. Now see how proud that sits above the lip. The other one was barely above the lip, and in places completely flush with the metal. So this is obviously how it's supposed to be. So I'll put this on now, and I'm not even going to tighten it down that much. You don't want to crush it down and you know, force it between the metal and cut it and stuff. So I'm going to put it on, just snug it down. There's no oil pressure as such in the top of the engine like there. It's just splattering around. It's not like going to get forced out by oil pressure. So I'll snug this one back down and we're job done. Okay, job done. Well, I'll start that up, just run it for a couple of minutes to heat the engine up, make sure there's nothing leaking out of there, and then I'll spray this side of the engine with degreaser, give it a bit of a wash down, but should be all good now. Another job ticked off the list. Stoked. Right, it's my new mainsail. I'm going to give it a crack and try and put it on myself. I have got crew coming tomorrow, but you're not getting it till the afternoon, and who knows, it may be windy then, and it's not windy now. Not really, it's only 5 or 6 knots. So I'm just going to give it a crack, just to mount it, get it on the mast, and yeah, just get it hooked on. We'll give it a crack. You can always pull out. Okay, so I got the sail, all the sail sliders on the mast, and then just dropped in a big pile. As you can see, it's not looking very beautiful, but I'm gonna put the battens in now. So I brought the battens up with me from Gold Coast, because they're 5 meters long, and trying to ship them costs more than they're worth, about $500 just to ship them. So I brought them up here, but Kadrick left them all too long because, you know, he obviously didn't know exactly the size of the sail. So now I just have to cut them all a bit shorter. So it's not a big drama, just put them in, see how much short they have to be, mark them, and then just chop them off. Shouldn't be a big job. Oh. I hate them when they stick out the end of the sail and they catch on lazy jacks and that, so I'm going to take a little bit more off that one. Okay, so this morning we're out here at Great Keppel Island anchored. So we're out here putting the reefing system on. So 3 reefs, as you can see here. We've got the green. This is first reef here. And then we've got the blue, second reef. And then third reef, which is in at the moment, that's third reef. And what I've done is put a pulley system on here so that the outhaul is up. If you don't put the pulley here on the boom and just run this back to the end of the boom, back to here, then the pressure that's loaded this way on the sail is extreme. Whereas the first reef, for example, the angle back to here isn't so extreme. So that second reef's also not bad on this sail because it's not very high, but the third reef's, like, you're talking about 1 meter from the end of the sail. And so I've got the outhaul line coming there up to the sail and back down to the boom, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't interest most of you, but it just makes a difference. So you're not stretching your sail so much, and when you're using a third reef you're going to be at 40 knots probably. And anyway, the loads on your sail are pretty extreme, and if you're pulling the sail just to get it tight, you've got to pull it backwards heaps. Well, to get it tight down, you're just pulling it backwards by default because your angle's so great that then in the high loads and the high winds, it's just going to stretch your sail, especially a Dacron sail anyway. It's going to stretch it, and you know, one good storm and you've just bagged out the whole top of your sail. So next time you're sailing in light winds, that whole top 2/3 of your sail is just going to be bagged out and it's not going to go upwind anymore. Anyway, we're going to drop this sail in the bag now. Hopefully we'll get to use it tomorrow, and then we're going to get on to another little job, which involves climbing the mast and putting a new, well, not a new, the original spinnaker halyard back in that we lost down, Marie and I, when we were doing the standing rigging in Cronulla. Yeah, we had a miscommunication and she pulled one halyard and I was holding on to another, and that one went blip, blip, down through the mast and we lost it, and we haven't been able to fly a spinnaker. I'm going to try and climb up the mast and drop a weighted line down inside the mast, and we'll try and fish it out the bottom and then tie that onto a halyard and pull it through. Probably won't work, and we'll probably be a bit of swearing involved, but we'll give it a crack. Alright, so I'm up the top of the mast here in beautiful Long Beach, Great Keppel Island. I'll give you a bit of a view around here. Hey, all good. I got all day. Yeah, so we're up here, and what we're trying to do is feed a spinnaker halyard in here. So I've put this little line down with a sinker on it, and what we first did. Oh look, there's a bloody big stingray over there. Look at that. See that black thing in the water over there? My new crew, haven't met him yet, Murray. He's down there with a flashlight and a coat hanger at the slit in the mast. And he's trying to fish the line out down there. I hope you can hear me, actually. There's a bit of wind up here. But anyway, if not, you just read my lips. So he's trying to do that, and then what we'll do is then, once he's pulled that out and knotted it off, I'll go back down and we'll tie the halyard on to the bottom of that, and then just pull this white line, which is obviously still down on the bottom. We'll pull that and pull the halyard up through here, out through here, and then down, and we'll have a new spinnaker halyard on. So that's the plan, but he hasn't managed to hook it yet. How's it going down there, Murray? Any luck? Maybe if I jerk it up and down, it'll like jump around. We'll give that a crack. See any movement? All right, so we've got the line down through that hole there, and moused onto here. Now Murray, this is Murray by the way, and you're on the boat. Going to slowly pull this through, and we'll hopefully get a new halyard. All right, pull away. Just be careful through this part. Let's trip over the corner. I did break. Oh, here we go. Hey, look at that. Beautiful. Oh, that's a good success. Alright, look, here we go. Halyard's coming down. Sweet as.
Nice job.
Good stuff. We got it. Alright guys, we'll finish the video up there. We didn't really get any miles. Mad dash, didn't dash very far, but we definitely got a long way towards getting the boat back in A1 trim. I'm stoked to have the new sail on. It looks good. We pulled it up tight. It looks good. I'm happy with it. You know, Dacron, whatever. I'm stoked. It's going to be a strong sail. It's going to last a few years. Stoked that the Raymarine plotter came back. You know, brand spanking new unit. Probably cost more for them to fix the old one than give me a brand new one. It's the way of the world. Pretty upset about that. Bloody consumerism, but it is what it is. I hope they do fix it and sell it as a refurbished one, the old one. Yeah, got the engine going good again. All in all, just good to tick off those items. Oh, spinnaker halyard. As you'll see in the next video, we'll put that to use. We'll get our spinnaker up for the first time. Next video will be yeah, sailing here from obviously Keppel's up to the Percy Islands with Murray, a new crew. I'll introduce him there. Thanks very much, patrons. Again, every week, same thing, but I mean it just as much every week. A couple of new ones came on board this week. Thank you guys very much for having faith in us and recognising the work that goes into making these videos. Obviously, you know, if I put it down to an hourly wage, I'd be getting about whatever that gasket would have cost to make. Probably that's about my hourly wage. And no, I don't mean $115. I mean more about $3. But anyway, it is very awesome that we can make a subsistence living from doing this on the boat. And I am pretty positive that we'll keep making these videos. We'll get better. We're going to go to more interesting places. Maria will be back. We'll have a baby on board bouncing around. Yeah, I'm pretty confident in all this. You know, it's a bit of a wing and a prayer. It's not, I would say, an ideal, well, or even responsible path for a soon-to-be father to take. But hey, life is too short to bloody muck around, you know. Learning by doing, give it a crack. They're the mottos I've always lived by. They've always done me well, and hey, I'm just going to keep going. So thank you guys for supporting this. Very, very, yeah, very cool of you guys. Very, very nice. I know not everyone can afford to, you know, put a couple of bucks on these videos, but even a thumbs up, a comment, a like, and even best thing you can do is share it, to be honest. The algorithm is, you know, baffles me. I don't know, maybe I'm not young enough to understand it all, but I don't know, we just try and make good videos and honest videos more than anything. If you meet us in person, as heaps of you have done this year, you know, we're just the same people on the video. That we're not putting on any sort of big dramas and trying to string you all along. I am who I am, you know, you get what you get. Anyway, we'll see you next week, up to the Keppels. We'll be sailing, only sailing. Hopefully you're not going to fix anything. See you guys, bye-bye.